Okay, today we're going to talk about finding missing angles of triangles. So, two definitions we need to talk about first are complementary angles and supplementary angles. So, in order to talk about these terms, we are going to need to talk about right angles and straight angles. So, a right angle equals 90 degrees and a straight angle equals 180 degrees. Now, so basically what a complementary angle is two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Now, the way that I remember this is if someone gives you a compliment, you say, "Oh, you're so right." So right angle, compliment, right? So these two angles, if we zoom in on this is a right angle and it's cut into a 30-degree angle, and then we have an unknown over here. So 30 plus what would equal 90, right? So 60 plus 30 equals 90. So anytime you have a right angle, like let's say we have this right angle, and let's say it's cut directly in half. This angle would be 45 degrees, and this angle would be 45 degrees because that is half, right, of our 90 degrees. So this would be two different angles. We've got this one and this one. 45 and 45 are complementary angles because they add up to 90. Now, supplementary angles are the other ones. So with a supplementary angle, we are going to have angles that add up to 180. So if we zoom in on this angle, we have 100 degrees and then our unknown over here. So 100 plus what equals 180, and it would be 80 degrees, okay? If I were to have another straight angle that looked like this, and then, I don't know, let's say we have an angle here that's 20 degrees. Oops, my degree sign got gigantic. Degrees, 20 degrees. And then let's say that this side, so 180 minus 20 would be 160 degrees. So these two angles are supplementary to each other, okay? So those two definitions are going to be important as we get into our triangles. So what I want you to do is take a piece of paper and cut it into a triangle. So I have three different types of triangles here. You can cut it into whatever type of triangle you want. They could be a big triangle, a little triangle. It doesn't matter. But what I would like you to do is color the three angles of your triangle. Okay? So pause the video and go do that. Please make your triangle and shade in the angles. Okay, so you should have made your triangle and shaded in your angles. Now, what I would like for you to do is cut your triangle into three parts, okay? So I have part 1, part 2, and part 3. So I'm going to cut one angle off and cut the other ones and like shoop, right down. So we're going to leave the angles uncut, but we're going to cut the triangle into 3 parts, okay? So give that a try, cut them up. And now I'll pause the video while you're doing that. And now here's what we're going to do. You're going to take those shaded areas and you're going to put them together. So see how I took my original triangle over here where I shaded my spots and I'm going to put them together. And notice what this forms. So do me a favor, pause the video, put yours into, all the angles together just like I did. And now what I want you to notice is what this forms is a straight angle. So each triangle, no matter how big or how small your triangle or what type of triangle, whether it's right angle or acute angle or obtuse or whatever, you're going to get a straight angle when you put all those angles together. And what that tells us is that the 3 angles of any triangle are supplementary to each other. So what that means, so all angles of a triangle, of any triangle, are going to equal 180 degrees. So if I look at this triangle, this is a right triangle. I have 90 degrees in the corner, and then I have 2 angles that are 45. 45 plus 45 plus 90 equals 180, okay? And you don't always have to have an angle or a triangle, a triangle that looks that has angles that are, real even numbers. You can have really specific ones like this one. We have 47, 86, And if we add those up with 47, we also get 180. Okay? So what's going to happen here is we have an unknown. So our straight angle is going to be equal to 180. The sum of all the angles in a triangle is always equal to 180. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our math skills here. So we have 130 plus 35, because those are the two angles that we know. We're going to try to find this unknown angle. So 130 plus 35 would be 165. Then what we're going to do is take what we know it has to equal, 180, and subtract what we know about those angles, right? So we're going to subtract this. We need to regroup. So 5 and 1. So this x here, x equals 15 degrees. Okay, so x equals 15 degrees, and that's how we get to our supplementary. Or if we want to check, we can do 130 plus 35 plus 15, and we get, lo and behold, 180. All right, let's try another one. So this, we have a 90-degree angle, so 90, and we have 45-degree angle. And we're trying to find this missing angle over here. So we're going to add these up, 135. So then we're going to take 180 and subtract what we know those two angles equal. So we get 45. So this angle, x equals 45 degrees. And again, we can check this by adding them all up. And again, we get 180. All right, let's try this one. So these angles are a little more specific. So we have 62 plus 52. So 114. So 180 minus 114, which will give us 66 degrees. So 66, so if we do 62 plus 52 plus 66, we get 180. So x equals 66 degrees. Okay? And actually, these should not be an isosceles triangle. That should not be there, because if this was an isosceles triangle, these angles would also be equal. So technically, this is not going to be an isosceles triangle because these two angles are different. Okay, just a couple more. Wow, tiny numbers. So we have 27 and 32 as our known, and now we need to find out our unknown. Now that's an obtuse angle, so we know that it's going to be more than 90. So 7 plus 2 is 9, 2 plus 3 is 5. Now we're going to take 180 and subtract what we know. So 10 minus 9 is 1, 7 minus 5 is 2, and 121. So x equals 121 degrees. And once again, if we want to check, we can do 121, 27, 32. We get 10 and 180. So it is supplementary. So here are some more examples, just in case you want to. Actually, these are all the examples we just did in one spot. Sorry. So if you want to pause this and check it out and just see how we did the work all together, this might be helpful. But if not, and you're ready to go, go for it. I'm glad this helped, and thanks for listening.